What is your biggest success? Yet another tricky question. It may sound like, what is your biggest success? But what are you really being asked about is, what did you learn from your biggest success? Here is where you can make sure that your data-drivenness comes into place and you do strongly focus on the criteria you think your success was achieved. Was it planned? Was it something that's happened by accident? Who knows? But in the story you will tell and the story you need to have prepared, this is such a common question that you should have some success ready on your plate. This is also an opportunity for you to present your communication storytelling abilities. This story needs a beginning, the middle, and an end. And with the beginning, you need to tell what problem you wanted to solve, then how you solved it, and what was the outcome, and what did you learn out of it? How did you use this success to, seed the success of other elements of your career, product, whatever. In this story, it's key to be the main actor of it, to show your contribution, your guidance, your spark of brilliance, perhaps, if one appeared. But what you want to also highlight, if the success that you achieved is something outside your regular scope, regular product, maybe it's something that you noticed in another team that you then took over, was the leader of a project that's not part of your core duties, and then you turned it into a great success. This is like the best story you can tell. On the other hand, you don't want to tell a story that stresses that you had to take a lot of overtime and that you had to sacrifice a lot of your personal time in order to achieve. I know it's counterintuitive, but being such an overachiever and a suck-up is risky. Some companies may want such overachievers, but to extol them, to get more work out of them than they are being paid for, and you don't want this. Also, product managers can be overworked. If we don't have the time to be creative, to think about our decisions, to plan out our research, we are not good at what we do. So that's why I believe the overachiever success story is not the best pick. Unless this is your only one, then maybe you don't have to stress that you put up 16 hours a day in order to get the success. That is the point of the story you're telling. Still, it's okay to stress that you noticed something that no one else noticed, that you were brave enough to take a risk where everyone was too scared, but at the same time stress, why did you believe that the risk is okay to be taken, that it's acceptable risk? When I am being asked this question, here is what I say. Well, I think I managed to get quite a few successful launches, updates, increments, but the one I'm mostly proud of was when I was working for a job board company and I noticed that the mobile app of the job board doesn't have an ability to set up notifications about new matching positions, which is usually a big source of revenue for those companies. That was because the notification service didn't have any API, any way to set up the notification technically. I started working on that, trying to get the right team to create the API, which turned out would be pretty difficult, would have taken a lot of time, and, it looked like a lost cause. But what I did is I used my startup experience and tried to put a dummy API. It was a sneaky solution where for the application it looked like it's contacting genuine API, but instead it was actually just filling the form on the website to set up the notification. So it was pretend-ish, but obviously that was pretty hacky, maybe not too secure. So I had to go through different people, different security approvals in order to get this solution in place, which took, well, I think 2 or 3 months to put everything together. But in the end, it accommodated for, I believe it was around 20 to 30% new applicants on that mobile app. It was a few years back, I might get those numbers wrong, but it was a great source of traffic, a free traffic for the company. And at the same time, when I was leaving the team, and I was leaving like 1.5 years after that API was set up, when I was leaving, the company was still having the official API to develop in their backlog with like promise it will happen soon. I don't know. I don't know if it did. But if I wasn't like relentless, I didn't try to go above and beyond the corporate requirements, the limits, that great source of traffic would have never appeared in the app. And I'm really happy I could think outside the back then corporate box and, well, get something really positive done. That was a good learning exercise for me, actually, because coming from a small startup where you did everything you could to achieve success could have been translated, that attitude, to the corporate world where people felt limited, shackled even. But when I have an open mind and I'm focused on a solution, everything's possible, regardless on how impossible it might appear initially. Okay, that's all for this question. Let's move on to the next, very similar question. See you in that video.